Hello, trading is closed on October 24th, 2019. Let's go over our calls. Look for the pattern with the early high. We got that. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high as well. Doesn't mean you won't gap down first. We had a long-standing target of 3,018.98. Came within 9 cents of the high. This satisfies the criteria in my book for a direct hit. You can get some pretty big moves in the other direction from a direct hit, but of course by the time you get the move, it's probably a bit late to act on it. Just be aware when it reverses from these numbers, you have the potential for a big move in the other direction. We got the minimum almost always at some time. You're going to get more than this minimum. We've also challenged this area so many times. I think it's a matter of time till we break through on the upside, but that doesn't mean that's the next move. Well, here's what we said. So typically the market rallies all day as a high in the final hour. Failure is a straight line drop. Neither one of those things happened yet, but tomorrow's open's a substitute for today's close. So we should get a big move at tomorrow's open. Either a straight line drop or else gap over this high. We didn't really make a call. We said if we gapped down, the call was clear. If we didn't gap down, it really wasn't. I actually call it a moral victory when I don't make a call on a day like today. It didn't rally all that much, and then after hours, giving it all back. As you know, I've said before that Warren Buffett is one of the best rated investors around, even though he does underperform the market when it's going up. His entire outperformance, all of it is due to outperforming the market when it's dropping. He just doesn't take big losses. And I'd rather avoid a day like today and not make a call than make a call that loses money. Well, we got an ultimate sell signal early. That's the minimum. Usually you get more. Usually you undercut this low. And usually you don't have to wait long. MEJT said this drop wouldn't last, it was false. Said the rally would retrace, it was false. Said this blip up satisfied the minimum for the ultimate buy, but we usually get more, but it would retrace, and even this drop, it still would retrace. And that's all played out. Now, much as DeMarc's stuff has failed me on this rally, one thing which does appear to work is this TDST line. You've got support under this TDST line by 1 bar under 29.3813. And we did hold support under this last TDST line. I think it's, even though I'm looking for a drop here to complete the wave pattern, I think it's going to be pretty tough to break through both of these lines, especially since this one's held. So maybe we'll get a drop around this number or a bar under it. Doesn't mean it's the only target. Well, this is pretty much the same target we had before. It's a Fibonacci target of the prior consolidation. We have a new Gann fan line. We broke over some old highs, couldn't hold it. These are all negative things. We also have a put to call ratio showing far too many calls are being purchased by the amateurs who are typically wrong. Even though we broke out to a new high, this really isn't so far-fetched to think this is the right count. It hasn't been clearly invalidated yet. We have to move this up to today's high, and here are targets, but maybe we'll get this one at 29.03, because what I'd like to do is to get this one to print, but not this one, because the market typically is going to leave a failed MEJT target before reversing in the other direction. The next lower target's back in March. I think that's kind of out of reach for right now. So if we can undercut this level and maybe find support around this level, that might give us a target. It's not the only target, but I think it's might be all we get out of a drop here if we get it. And 50% moves around 29.03. So we'll just keep our eyes peeled to see if we do drop here. Still is 107 handles from where we closed. But if that's all we get, we could have a huge move in the other direction, because I think once you have wave blue C, we've challenged this so many times, we're going to break out in grand style. This is a long consolidation, and the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move when you break it. So Friday's pattern has an early high. We could gap down first. We didn't get any of the typical patterns for today. Tomorrow's open substitutes. For today's close, the odds favor a gap up or a straight line drop based on futures. I'm hoping we see the straight line drop, because that would make my wave count work. I don't always get everything I want. Challenge the price area so many times, it should be just a matter of time till we break higher through it. Doesn't mean you won't drop first. Put call ratio says the usually wrong option players think we're going up first. I'd love to flush them out and then load the boat on the long side. So a big move at the open tomorrow. Futures are indicating it's going to be down. That would make the wave count work. And we do have our Fibonacci targets, which are at higher levels than they were before. Maybe not even going below 2,900. And that's today's call.